Hey, Divine Ones, and welcome to day 2 of my 30-day video challenge, where I am pretty much going to be expressing or sharing some things that I've been wanting to share and express for a very long time in a very real and raw and easy way. I'm not in my video studio. I don't have all the lights and everything going. I'm just really being myself, saying what I need to say. And today, one of the things I really want to share with you is what the soul is made of and what it is made for. So when I had my near-death experience and I crossed over to the other side, one of the things that I became was the fullness of my soul. I left my body and became the fullness of what I truly am. And what I felt in that experience was that what I was and am is source. Like at that time, my language was God. Like the entity that I was trying to understand in my lifetime before that God was me. Like I wasn't separate from that. I was a part of it. And not only that, but that source was, so the soul is source. It is an aspect of source. And so it's the part of source that gets to be us in this lifetime. Like it's the part of source that source sends into the physical to have a human experience. In my case, the experience of being a Jerome. And not only that, but that source was love. It was the immense, it was the very definition. It was the source of it. It was love itself. Like it wasn't just loved and it wasn't just loving. It was unconditional love itself. And if you talk to many people who've had near-death experiences, or you watch some videos of people who've had near-death experiences, one of the most common things that people experience is this feeling of being ridiculously, undescribably loved. And there are some that will say they understood that feeling of being loved and being loved was who they are. And so the soul is that part of its source, the part of source that gets to be an individuated aspect, because source is one, right? It's the part of us that gets to have an illusion of being separate and being a self. But that it's really unconditional love. And it is the consciousness and the energy of unconditional love. That is what source is, and that is what your soul is made of, is made from, and is made for. Well, so that was my first understanding of it. And I received an entirely deeper understanding of it after I had my near-death experience, and I began my healing journey over these past 17 years, because that happened in 2005. And one of the things that began to educate me more on what unconditional love really is when my intuitive gifts began to open, and I began to do mediumship work, where I was talking to souls and connecting with souls on the other side. And also I began to connect with people and do readings and things like that. And one of the things that would happen when I was connecting with people to do readings is one of my gifts is I connect in directly with the energy of the soul, and I would feel it. And I would feel like one of my biggest gifts is clairsentience and the feeling. And so I would feel in the body what the soul was. And no matter who I was working with, no matter who I was talking to, no matter what they did or didn't do, no matter what their history was, no matter what their color was, their race was, their sexuality was, no matter what their criminal record was, their education record was, their economic status was, their health status, the soul always felt the same. It was this vibration that it felt. And I was getting this, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting. Like, no matter who they are, it feels like there were some personality differences in each soul, but the soul energy of it always felt the same. And what it was like this collection of kind of 5 different five main, because it was a little bit more than five, but there were five main vibrations that made up the energy of love. And uh, and so one was the love is a multifaceted energy, meaning it has many different vibrations that make it up. It's not just one thing. And we have a different understanding of this in our human experience, because a lot of us associate love with affection. A lot of us associate love with giving. And while those things are aspects of love, love is much bigger than that. And it's not just this one thing. It actually is several things. It's made up of several things. So like my hand here, right, is one thing. My hand is one, if the hand itself is one thing, but it's made up of several different facets. I have my thumb and my four fingers. I have my palm. Like all of those elements come together to make up my hand. And so one of the things that I recognized was that, oh, there were the different vibrational facets that made up what love energy was. And there were five core ones. And they were freedom, the vibration and or the emotional feeling of freedom, and the consciousness of freedom, like there's no limit, believing there's no limit to the self. It was also the feeling of peace and the consciousness of peace, like being at ease, like there's nothing and no one against it, that type of energy. It was also the vibration of being safe, like that there's no threat, that all is well, right? And this is also the consciousness of vibration of being safe. Other one was worthiness. And worthiness is also an interesting energy because it's also multifaceted. It's more so like the aspect of being unconditionally appreciative. Like I'm lovable, I'm enough, I am appreciated, and all of me deserves to belong and be accepted, right? So it's the energy of that. And then the last piece of it was joy, like sheer joy, utter joy. And these made up like the five core vibrations of what the soul's energy is and what the soul's consciousness is. So the soul is the energy and the consciousness of freedom, worthiness, joy, safety, and peace. Like it is that element, and it never wavers from that. Like that is the essence of it, and it does not disconnect from that. Now we could disconnect from that here, and I'll talk about some in some future videos. While we're having a human experience, we cannot be in alignment with our true selves, but that is the energy of the soul. The soul is love, and it is those energies unconditionally, no matter what, right? So it is unconditional love, like meaning no matter what it is always worthy, it is always safe, it is always at peace, it is always joyous, it is always freedom. And that's what it's made of. That's what it's made of. But what it's made for is also made for love. Like the soul is made to experience love. It is made to be loved and to experience love and to expand the love that it is. So that is kind of what I wanted to share with you in this second video. I'm going to go deeper into this as we probably go along, but this is something that really changed me, because as I understood what I was made of, it began to help me understand where I come into problems and where my suffering comes from and where my pain comes from and where even my illnesses are coming from. Is because I'm not connected, and I'm living in ways, or I'm thinking in ways that are not connected to the truth of what I am, to the wholeness of what I am, right? So anytime I don't feel free, or I don't feel joyous, or don't feel safe, or I don't feel at peace, or I don't feel worthy, that is a sign that I am not being my true self. I am not allowing my soul to be in this body fully. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share for today. That what the soul is made of and what it's made for. It is made of love, and it is made to experience love in many different forms. I just happen to be having an experience where I am here to experience love in a physical human form as a Jerome. You are the soul that is here to experience love and to be love in the experience of whoever you are and wherever you are. But that's the purpose here. That's what the soul is created for. It is a creation of love to experience love. So let me know below in this video any kind of ahas you may have gotten or any kind of resonance you may have gotten with this. I love to hear what you have to say. And until next video, I love you. Now go love yourself. Bye.